Gran Turismo 7 may just be the most detailed racing game to ever exist. Every single minute detail you can think of is probably hidden away in Gran Turismo 7, whether that's car specific, track specific, weather, you think of it and it is probably in game. And after spending over 2,000 hours with Polyphony's latest racer, I thought, well, why not make it a series looking at some of the more smaller details and hidden details I found inside of Gran Turismo 7 over said time. So over the coming months, every single one of these videos is going to bring to you 10 hidden and secret details inside of Gran Turismo 7, and hopefully with each single episode you will learn something new that you may have not known before. So let's begin. 10 hidden details in GT7 Part 1. The Mitsubishi GTO has active Aero. It's probably fairly obvious that the Mitsubishi GTO was a highly advanced car for the time. The one we have in game is the 1991 GTO Twin Turbo, but one thing you might not know is that this car does feature active Aero. During general gameplay it can be quite easy to actually miss the active Aero, but towards the bottom of the front bumper you will see the sticker noting active Aero, and once you see it you can't really unsee it. Yes, it's fully functional, yes it does work, and yes it's there. Not bad for a 1990s JDM car. Windsocks show speed and direction. Now we all know that the wind is a key feature of GT7 and can be seen on your hood. However, if you approach a windsock like here at Grand Valley Highway 1, they will actually show you the real-time wind direction and speed. So yes, they do actually have physics attached to them which relate to the wind in game, and it will always be in real time. So you probably have noticed the windsocks around a lot of the tracks in game, and you've probably been blasting past at 150 miles per hour just expecting it to be a little bit of trackside detail. But it does seem like they do go deeper than that with those physics attached to them. Next up is Mars can be found inside Gran Turismo 7. Unfortunately we cannot drive there, and also unfortunately it is attributed to one of the worst cars in game, the Tesla Model 3. However, if you take a look at the heads up display in the car, you will notice that yes, it does feature Mars. So it does seem like every single time we were doing one of the Tesla One Make special events, we were actually driving on the surface of Mars itself. A pretty cool little hidden detail here. AFEELA Brakes on the heads-up display. Yes, the car that is made between Sony and Honda as part of their Motability program, the AFEELA came in an earlier update this year to GT7. And a cool little feature on the heads-up display is the fact you can see it braking in real time every single time you stamp on the brakes. Pop-up headlights actually affect the top speed and acceleration of a car. So something like our Mazda RX-7 here, when the headlights are tucked in, will actually have a higher top speed than when they're actually out. And although it's only very slightly, it is noticeable that it will naturally take the car slightly longer to accelerate to its maximum top speed. And even then, it may be even slightly lower than with the headlights dipped in. This is the same for a lot of cars that feature pop-up headlights, so feel free to test them all and try them out. Tyre wear is actually visible in Gran Turismo 7. So if we take something like our Super Formula here on a fresh set of racing softs, you can see that there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're clean, fresh and new. So if we go ahead and just do a bunch of burnouts to burn off some of that rubber with a very high tyre wear, this is the fastest way to actually see it in effect. Once the rubber is completely gone, and even before it's completely gone, you will notice that yes, there is an indicator that these tyres are absolutely well past their best. However, another cool feature is the fact that the fronts didn't burn off and are in still pretty good condition compared to the rears here. So it does seem that Polyphony added real-time tyre wear to the game. Engine startup sounds will change with engine swaps. So we all know about the startup engine sounds feature. Select a car and it will play a soundbite based on the car you've selected. However, you may not know that this will actually change for the exact same car if you just go ahead and engine swap it. So for this example, I'm going to show you the Silvia Spec Art Aero S15 touring car, as this has the default engine as well as 2 additional engine swaps. So first of all, we're going to begin with the default engine for the car, which is the SR20 DET Silvia TC. Next up we have the VR38 DETT GTR Nismo swap. And finally, its latest swap, the VK45D GTR. Spectators and the Weather. Now this is a more well-known one, but let's just say you've got an Evo 3 just sat in the garage, it's a nice sunny day and you decide to take it on a flight across to Autopolis in Japan. Now it's absolutely incredible, you're going for a bit of a track day and you notice that the marshal posts are incredibly close to the track. You wave at them and you see they're in their typical bright orange uniform. It comes to the afternoon and it starts absolutely lashing it down on the track. Once again, you go out for your little track day. Of course, the heavens have opened and you wave over at your marshal post once again. And of course, like any sane person, they've gone ahead and popped a coat on, of course, just due to the weather. So if you went into photo mode upon closer inspection of a marshalling post or some of the spectators on a sunny day, you will notice that of course they're in their typical overalls and spectators will be in the likes of a t-shirt, maybe some shorts and just your typical jeans that you would on a sunny day. Nothing really changes and all seems as normal. However, it's nice to see that Polyphony actually went to the effort of, once it's raining, they'll actually go ahead and stick a jacket on or a coat to cover themselves off from the elements, of course staying in that typical Orange Army bright orange. Now of course when it comes to the spectators, it can be a little hit and miss. A lot of them will start putting on these ponchos to cover themselves off from the rain, however you may notice that some will stay in their typical dry clothes. EV cars cannot change oil. Now this is obvious to anyone that of course you can't oil change an electric vehicle, however in most racing games many developers will probably just have the system in place and overlook this. However in GT7 every single one of the electric vehicles you will end up with this message as a failed message. You can't do that to this car. Great to see some attention to detail with this system. Changing gears happens in real time in Gran Turismo 7, whilst of course I think most people will know there is a gear change animation. If we use something like this Pantera here, which has a very open and obvious gearbox marked 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as well as reverse, you can actually see the driver put in the correct gear in, meaning that we have an animation for both the driver and the gearbox itself. And there we go, that has been 10 hidden details inside of Gran Turismo 7 Episode 1. If you want to see more of these, feel free to leave a like, share and comment. It does massively help me out and lets me know that you're enjoying these videos. I plan to do a bunch of episodes of this series and I really enjoyed making this one. And if there's any hidden details you may think I might not know of, feel free to leave them in the comments below for me to check out. A massive thank you to all of my channel members listed on screen now, and a massive thank you to you guys watching at home. I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys, peace.